The other big news of the day, which was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court issued what a rare statement about your suggestion on Truth that you posted earlier today that Judge James Boasberg should be impeached after he ordered those deportation flights to El Salvador halted, essentially turned around. The Chief Justice said it was more than two centuries. We understood that essentially impeachment was for very rare circumstances and not an appropriate response to rulings you disagree with. What's your reaction to the court's stepping in to make a statement here? They didn't make a statement when Joe Biden decided to forgive all those student loans.
Well, he didn't mention my name in the statement. I just saw it quickly. He didn't mention my name.
Doesn't matter, dude. He was clearly referring to you.
But many people have called for his impeachment, the impeachment of this judge. I don't know who the
many people are saying it's the old tactic. Many people are saying, well, you know what? He's not talking about those people. He's talking about you, dude. You're the president of the United States. Own up to it. He's not talking about some random dude on X named Jack Williamson who tweeted, impeach the judges who are making Trump look bad and saying he can't do this stuff. He's not talking about those schmucks. He's talking about you.
Judges, but he's radical left. He was Obama appointed. And he actually said we shouldn't be able to take criminals, killers, murderers, horrible, the worst people, gang members, gang leaders, that we shouldn't be allowed to take them out of our country. Well, that's a presidential job. That's not for a local judge to be making that determination.
He didn't mention due process at all. Trump didn't mention due process at all. That was the concern with the judge, is deporting people without due process. Judges have no sympathy towards these gang members, violent people. No, it's not about that, dude. Holy cow. This is just total obfuscation.
And I thought it was terrible. In fact, he said when they were well on their way, there was an order issued, as I understand it, to bring them back or to not let them go or something. And this is not something that the country would stand for. These people, they were let in here by an incompetent president who had open borders, and
there were no open borders at all.
Anybody throughout the world could come in. And we were given murderers. We were given people from mental institutions and prisons.
The judge is essentially saying, excuse me, Mr. President, that there still is a process in place. You can read between the lines. It hasn't been a full ruling yet. I know the Justice Department is appealing this on a couple of different grounds, but this is leading people to wonder whether there are court orders that you will defy because you believe that the judge has no jurisdiction or they're political questions and not justiciable at all. And what would you say to that? Are there circumstances where you would defy a court order?
Well, I think that, number one, nobody's been through more courts than I have. I think nobody knows the courts any better than I have. I would say the chief judge does, but nobody knows them better than I have. And what they've done to me, I've had the worst judges. I've had crooked judges. I have judges that valued Mar-a-Lago at $18 million because that benefited his case, because he wanted to see me convicted of something.
He's not answering the question at all. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Laura Ingram's got to rein this guy in. This is insane, and this is a Fox News interview. She actually is kind of like struggling, and she's kind of trying to be like, hey, look, can I redirect your attention to what I asked? And Trump's not the only president, the only politician who's struggled to answer questions. I mean, look at Joe Biden. But this guy, he's not the same guy that he was 8 years ago. 8 years ago, he was way more direct, and that helped him in the 2016 campaign. Now, it's no wonder why people are questioning his age, saying, does this guy really still have it? He's 78 years old. He's totally distracted. He's totally off in la la land, or at least a lot more than he was in 2016. I mean, he's still there to some extent. But yeah, nobody's been to court more than me. Stop committing crimes, and maybe that can be changed. But yeah, no, just because you've been to court a lot as a criminal defendant doesn't mean that you know the most about courts and know the most about our judicial system, buddy. That's not the way it works. Although he is correct that Chief Justice Roberts probably knows more about the courts than him. I will give him that. That is one of the most humble things that I have heard him say, and it's barely humble considering he's talking about the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you for watching.